Hello, my name is Bethany, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make the rainbow corner-to-corner arm warmers. If you're already familiar with the corner-to-corner, then you can just look at the graph and make it that way, but if you're new to corner-to-corner, I'm going to show you how to start that. So we're going to be starting with the red, and corner-to-corner is worked diagonally. So instead of doing straight rows, you're working from the bottom corner to the top corner. So you're going to be starting with one square, and then you're going to do two squares, and you're going to keep increasing as you work your way up. So getting started is really the hardest part, and it's not that hard. So once you kind of wrap your brain around doing it diagonally instead of doing it in rows, then you can really get going. So let me show you. So we're going to start with, whoops, pulling the wrong end there. We're going to start with a chain 5. You're going to start with the chain 5. Then you're going to double crochet in the third chain from the hook, and then double crochet in the next two chains. And that is the first block, the first row of your corner to corner. So now we're going to start the second row. And this is how you're always going to start the next row when you're increasing. You're going to start with a chain 5, because you're always going to need to turn and then work 3. So you're going to work 5 and then double crochet into the third chain from your hook, double crochet in the next two chains, and this is the first one of the next one. So to get it lined up correctly, you're going to take this piece and flip it up. So now this is going to have the wrong side facing you, and you're going to work into the two chains that you started with. So flip it up and then slip stitch in between the stitch and the chain. So right in that space, slip stitch to connect it. So we have this bottom corner, and then we're going to work this corner and then this corner above it. And to work the next one, you chain 2, and then to work 3 double crochets in that same space that you slip stitched into. So there's your first one, and then these two make up 2. So now we're going to start the row, we're going to start the third one. And we're going to do the exact same thing that we did before. You start with the chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, do one more, and then you're going to double crochet into the third chain from the hook, whoops, I worked an extra there. Make sure when you're doing it, you're counting. So you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then double crochet in the third chain from the hook, double crochet in the next two chains, and then to get it lined up properly, you flip it up. So this was really the hardest part, figuring out the flip. The easiest way to think of it is, so we started here, we were doing this, and then we did our chain. This corner with your tail is always going to be on the bottom left. So to orient that on the bottom left again, flip it up, and there it is on the bottom left again. And then you have your two chains right there that you're going to work into. So slip stitch into there, chain 2, work 3 double crochet in that same space, and then since we're increasing, we're going to slip stitch into the next one. Kind of like it looks kind of like stairs, right? And then double crochet 3 into that one. So it will always be like if you're working a square pattern, and this one is not a square pattern, but it will be for a short time. So you're gonna have 3 across the bottom and 3 up the side, and then you just increase as you go. So we've done 3 rows with red, and now we're going to switch colors. So from here, you're going to yarn over and pull the orange through. So there's our first chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're going to start working with orange from here. So we chained 5, so double crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook, double crochet in the next 3 chains, and that's going to pull a little loose. That's okay, just pull it. And then this is the first round of the 4th row, the first block of the 4th row. And then so to get it, so remember we're orienting this one so that it's always going to be on the bottom left. So flip it up like that. And then finish the round in orange. Slip stitch. And then you can see each time we're working 1 more because we're increasing. So you're going to increase, so keep doing the chain 3, chain 5, and then, increasing out until you have 13 this way and 13 this way. And if you followed my colorway, you see that I started with 3 of red, but from here on out I do 2 rows of each color, and then you're switching the color by pulling the new color through with the chain 5 of the beginning of the next round. So you're going to end on the last row of purple. So you're going to do the entire rainbow up until pink. Right before pink, when you get to purple, that is where we're going to make some changes. So work, we're on 1, 2, 3, 4, work 9 more rows, and then meet me back here. Okay, so here we are. We have our rows that we finished here, and at this point, we're going to turn our square into a rectangle. So in order to do this, we're going to stop increasing on this side, but continue to increase on this side so it gets taller, but not wider. Now here, you do want to make sure that this is the width that you like. Wrap it around your arm and see if you like that. If you want it a little bit wider, then keep increasing out 1 or 2 more rows. But this is where I like it for myself. So this is where I'm going to show you to make the change. So we have just finished this purple. And so what you're going to do is, instead of chaining 5, because now we are not continuing to increase, we're going to keep it at the same width. So you're going to chain 3. Instead of chaining 5, you're going to chain 3. And then you're going to flip it again, just like you would normally flip it. There's our beginning tail in the bottom left corner. And then instead of working the new block, you're going to take the chain 3 and you're going to slip stitch into the top. So instead of making a new row, we're now ready to start, and this is going to keep us going straight up without going wider. So once you've slip stitched, now you're going to join your new color. No, I'm sorry. You're going to slip stitch with the new color. So you're going to chain 3. And then stick your hook into that space and pull up your new pink, and then pull it through the chain 3s, that last chain. It's going to look a little messy, so just pull everything tight. And then from here you can continue going up. So chain 2, and then you can continue the way that you did it before. You're going to chain 2 and then double crochet 3 into the space to start the next row. Now make sure that you're paying attention to what you're doing. I have a graph. I have a graph that's oriented both ways, so you can see, because it does look different when you flip it. So make sure to look at the graph. The link to that graph is in the description. And be sure that you're making sure that you are always increasing on this side and always keeping the same number on this side. That you're doing the chain 3 and slip stitching instead of increasing. So we're going to finish this row with the pink. So we finished this row, and when you get up here, if we were making a square, you would be done here. You would slip stitch and then chain 3 and do what you did and slip stitch when you turn. But since we're going to continue to make it taller, you're going to continue to finish that row. And instead of decreasing right there, by ending, you're going to work that last one. So take a look at your piece. So if you did it exactly like mine, the wrong side of this first stitch is when it's facing you, you're gonna make that increase up here. When it's not facing you, you're gonna make this side flat, straight. So pay attention to what you're doing, and then just continue doing this. Continue making this side flat and increasing on this side until they're the length that you want. So I like mine, you know, not super long, but you know, to cover the middle of my hand, and then mostly at my forearm. So continue that until they're the length that you want your arm warmers to be. And then I'll meet you back here. Okay, so I have worked a few extra rows, and when you're turning it, you know, you're rotating it like this. So I've ended here. This is the length that I want, you know, fits my arm, and that's where I want to stop. So when you've ended that row, I'm going to bring up here, and since this side we're decreasing on this side, but on this side we were continuing to increase, and so I'm back at the decrease side. So I'm just going to continue by chaining 3 and then flipping it up, and then I'm starting the next color, and the next color in the sequence is orange. So I'm going to join with the slip stitch. And then I'm going to continue working the orange all the way up and then begin my decrease on the other side. Okay, so I finished that row. We did the increase or the decrease on this side, and now we're going to start decreasing on this side. So you do the same thing. You join with a slip stitch, chain 3 instead of 5, flip your project, and then slip stitch right there. And I'm going to slip stitch with the same yarn because I'm going to work one more row of orange. So from here on out, you're going to continue your sequence, working 2 rows of each color, and then at this point it just decreases. You're going to use less and less yarn of each color. You know, I'm just using little scraps here to finish up, and then you'll have your piece. So finish the last few rows, you're more than halfway done at this point, and then meet me back here for the border and the finishing. Okay, so I have finished up my piece with the corner to corner stitches, and I wanted to show you on this last stitch, you're going to join that last corner, and then to finish off I do a chain 3, flip it one more time, and then join to finish, and that way you finish that edge, and then weave in that end. So I've taken the liberty of weaving in all my ends before coming back to you. So if your ends aren't woven in yet, woven in, whatever that word would be, pause right now and weave in your ends so that we can move on and crochet the edge. Okay, so to crochet the edge, get a different color. I kind of like this aqua color, and choose that. Choose whatever color you'd like to have your edge be. And then starting anywhere really, you're gonna single crochet. I like to not start in a corner, that way I don't have to end on a corner. And then pull it through, and then just kind of make them even as you can. It's gonna be a little weird because you're not working into stitches. But just do what you can to get them even and work single crochet all around the edge. Okay, when you get to the corner, make sure you work 3 in that same place so you have a nice corner on it. And then continue working around. So we're back at the corner again, so make sure you remember to work 3 in the corner. Okay, so we're back where we started, so join with a slip stitch. Okay, so now we are going to sew them into arm warmers. So you're going to keep it with the right side facing up and then pinch it closed like so. Then using the same color that you did your border, you're going to single crochet all the way, well, not all the way, but you're going to start to single crochet at the end. So you're going to, and make sure that you're going through both loops on both sides. And then single crochet all the way across, sewing it into a tube. Now bear in mind that these stitches are not going to be exact because we didn't work into stitches, so your counts on this side may be different than this side. So just visually line it up, and if you had more stitches on this side, you may need to skip a couple stitches to make sure that they line up correctly. So keep that in mind as you're going along, that you may need to skip stitches on one side or the other to make sure that it continues to line up as you go along. Okay, so when you reach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 blocks from the side, I want you to skip. So you're going to skip about 7 stitches. So pick a side, doesn't really matter, and slip stitch along there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is going to be your thumb hole. So just slip stitch along and then finish single crocheting the rest of the way. Okay, so we've single crocheted all the way across. We're going to clip the yarn. And then you will need to weave those ends in. But other than that, your arm warmer is finished. So turn it inside out. And they're finished. So keep in mind, if you wanted them to be symmetrical, then you're going to want to fold them the other way. You're going to want to single crochet with the piece flipped the other way. That way, when you fold it, the red will be on this side and this side when you're wearing them. So they're finished. It'll be like your new corner to corner rainbow arm warmers. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.